Hey, it's Priestess Gorgeous here. Welcome to Vertex of Abundance, of course. Again, I'm Serene Priestess Gorgeous. I'll be your oracle today. What we're going to do first is brief ourselves on the energy for this week. There's 2 weekly readings that come out. One is for the public. We call that Daily Epiphany. The second one is for members of the temple. There's a public briefing. It's called the Soul Purpose Briefing. Now, the Soul Purpose Briefing, since the website's down until about the 22nd of May, check the show notes. There'll be a link over to that. It'll be on Facebook, but it's going to be private. Now, I was going to also make the Soulmate Twin Flame briefing private as well, but it's about time. Every 6 months I make one of those public. So just know when I'm talking about private, check the show notes. There should be more there. You can't really use the website right now, but when the website's back active, the videos that were made public during the month of May will be public all year, all lifetime, okay? So, well, however long I can predict into the future, I don't plan on changing it up. If you're confused, don't worry. Just check the show notes. Let me get into it here. So the Soul Purpose Briefing is really the internal work. And we have here the Nine of Wands. That is Sun, sometimes Moon, well, Moon, sometimes Sun, in Sagittarius. There's an accomplishment on a soul level where we've learned how to navigate the world, and there are energies that we need to release in order to align. And it's coming to terms with the difficult reality of the incarnational experience translation. You know, becoming okay with what one needs to do to make their life worthwhile, how they need to, get their bills paid, interact with other people, get to work, get a job, sustain a job that they like, those types of things. Now, sometimes job is career, income, business, whatever. You hear what I'm saying, though. Okay. And 9 is Mars. For me here in the temple, I know other people would say other things. And now we have the energy of release. That's the Death card. Il Mato is the World card. So even though it says death, release, it is a new beginning, because we've attained something. So this release is about letting something go. With these energies, I would say it's better to, embrace the situation than brace for impact. There should be some release, letting something go, moving it on. And so now we have the Page of Swords, which is the Princess of Swords, and the Four of Swords. So the 4 is Rahu. And I was getting that energy with this 9 here. We're using the Angel Tarot by Doreen Virtue. I love these cards, Doreen can do whatever she's doing. I love these cards. They work for me. So the energy they're trying to manifest is some type of journey or openness and receptivity. Really the thoughts about navigating a path towards clarity and truth. There's something here to be manifested. And it's some type of foundation according to one's belief system. And it's a place in this world. So it's what I'm understanding is up until now, it's been rather difficult for us establishing a place in this world. And our beliefs in relationship to whatever we understand about the difficulty to establishing our place in this world will be removed, relinquished, eradicated, resolved, reconciled. Okay. Because the energy that's already anchoring in here is 2 pages, 2 princesses, Earth, Quadri we say, and Pique, which is swords. 2 pages is a call to action. So recognizing the values, self-worth and value, what you're open and receptive to, what you're wanting, thinking, and needing in the moment, what your needs are, and what needs you have that get met by other people. Okay, so now we have ego, which is the death card, and the 8 of swords. Excuse me, well, that tells me a lot. It's the 8 of water. Ote de copa. So when I mistake water for swords, this tells me something about the belief. But water with mental energy would mean you're holding on to an energy so strongly that it's beginning to manifest some semblance of a reality. Reality can be created, or reality can be in accordance with your perception, or you can manifest a reality if you're in a high vibration, which means you'd be severing a delusion. You'd be separating from the water, going back towards the wands and swords. This is a need to let go, a need to move on. Now, sometimes letting go is just moving to a higher vibrational octave. Maturity is another translation for that. Sometimes letting go or moving on is releasing yourself from some type of attachment. It could be attachment to an outcome. It could be attachment to a person, a place, or a thing. Because the ego here is devil, and that could talk about, never-ending cycles. Okay. El Kalim Om. So we have the Apocalyptis out. And let's see if we can adjust this camera. So again, remember, this is just a briefing. I'm going to go ahead and just give my findings, and then I'll lay out the keys. I'll open up the halls of Amenti here on the grounds of apocalyptic midwifery. I, Serene Priestess Gorgeous, and pardon me, I'm wearing a mic if it's at all scratchy. Just bear with us. We're having a deep transition, myself very much included. So on the grounds of King of Wands, there's some type of need to focus on the spiritual here and just relinquish the attachment to all that mundane. And the spirits are using strong language, so we're a little bit hard-headed. My findings are that there's attachments. Because with the devil card, I would normally think, oh, somebody's governing from their lower self. This is attachment. This is when you're stuck in something because there's something alive in you, your personal power, that you can't reconcile. It doesn't integrate into the external world, which is why I was thinking that the 8 of Swords were here. It's really the 8 of Cups, the need to move on, walk on, leave things behind. And we will be walking on into the 10 of Cups from the 8 of Cups. And there's definitely a journey here. We have the Page of Swords that's navigating the world. We also have the Page of Earth here with this Knight of Earth, which means there'll be actual legitimate practical movement in reality in the third dimensional plane and materiality as well. So this Devil card called Ego here, it's talking more about, okay, so my findings, right? There's attachment. It's not so much shadow as it is attachment, and that is shadow, okay? But it's literally giving your power away. And we're being asked, well, the order here is to wake up to the cold, harsh reality so that one can move forward. And it will be a little bit difficult, but there'll be some healing from the truth. And this difficult reality needs to be incorporated into the philosophy to better navigate the world. And so this fighting, having a defense mechanism is because we've been trying the same thing over and over and over and expecting a different result. Again, that's why I was imagining the 8 of Swords here. And again, I want to be very clear. The 8 of Swords did not come out on the board. It was the 8 of water, the 8 of Cups. I mistaked it for the 8 of Swords. You know, the energy of the 8 of Swords is like, there's a way to do things, but you're doing it a different way. There's a way to navigate, but you're doing it a different way. It's like you're driving down the street and you've been driving around for half an hour more than you need to be because the trip's just 15 minutes down the road and you're refusing to ask for directions. So things are just becoming more and more confusing because there's a way to align with the experience or align with the situation, and you're somewhere else, somewhere not at that vibration, not at that level, not at that awareness, not at that consciousness, not at that strategy, willfully or unwillfully, you know. intentional or otherwise. So again, the findings for this briefing here, soul purpose briefing for the week of Maggio 19. So the 19th of May 2018 all the way through the 25th of May 2018. My findings are that the action here is the descent into one's shadow. This is a person who's governing from the lower self in the show group. There is energy here of embodying the shadow for, and we all have an incarnation that we're carrying on. Previous lifetimes, other people's previous lifetimes, we're all a facet of each other. This is some deep spiritual technology. I'm trying to be brief here. So this is energy here with this 3 of Swords, 10 of Cups. I call it the Master Omega 6, which would be the Devil card. The Lovers would be the Master Alpha 6, because the Devil is the shadow of the lovers. We're operating from the shadow, and we're literally taking up the space, inhabiting the space of this shadow incarnation. And that's not where we're supposed to be. That's why this 3 of Swords is here, to break us out of that energy. Because we're loving this whole hedonism. And mirroring that is this 8 of Cups. So we do need to move forward out into the future, rule from a higher perspective, keep a better foundation, be more in the head. All the swords rule from the head. All the cups kind of rule from the shadow. So that's why I'm like, this Devil card is here, but I'm feeling like you're giving to the Devil energy willingly. We are giving to the Devil energy willingly here. There's just no other translation. There's no other interpretation that's ringing true. This is the only one. Somebody needs to get broken up out of their hoping, wishing, praying, conjuring, yearning up for some hurting. Okay? And move on into your sovereignty. Move to higher ground. Get out of the shadow, get out of the depths. Unless there's actual work there that can be done. There is a call to action here, but not a call to arms. You don't need to fight. You need to find an alliance. And to have an alliance, you need to know what you have to offer. You're given to anything that will take anything from you, is the energy here. We are given to anything that will facilitate with us. So if the findings are that we're inhabiting life, we're experiencing life from the shadow right now, the recommendation here so far is to, again, go move to higher ground. Make slow, practical movements. It's time to buckle down and get things done. Honor the commitments. Speak your mind with confidence. Seek out professional advice if needed. Balance mental and emotional considerations. So I'm going to open up the library here. So my findings were correct. My findings were correct. Okay, so we have for where we start out, the Fool in reverse, and where we end up is the Death card. So the Death card came out twice. The Devil card came out twice. The Empress card came out twice. And so we have the Death card twice, the Devil card twice, the Empress twice. And that was the 3 major arcanas that came up before, and they all came back again. So I'm going to continue this usually in the temple, but today, for this week, it'll be on the YouTube. The link will be in the show notes because the video will be private. The briefing is public. Again, this was the Soul Purpose briefing for the week of May 19th through the 25th, 2018. Again, my name is Serene Priestess Gorgeous. If anything I said resonates deeply with you, right now, priestessgorgeous.org will be the best place to book a consultation or reading, or just send a message, an email, or whatever. Okay, peace be with you. Take good care of yourself. Namaste, Tandavat, and Ashe. Until we meet again, until we read again, take very, very, very good care of yourself. Au revoir, sayonara, auf Wiedersehen. Das Vidanya. Arrivederci.